Apollo HOU. We're here on a Thursday.
Hold on, cut. I have to sneeze. Oh, hold on.
You better fucking sneeze, and it better be the loudest fucking sneeze in the history of man.
Then I said it, so then
now you're not going to sneeze.
Wait, it was like right there. I was literally about to sneeze.
You should have just powered through it, like sneeze, and then we kept rolling. You know?
Okay. All right. Let's restart.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian LaLima, ApolloDez here with you. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at ApolloDez1, and of course at ApolloHOU. We're recording this on Thursday. The Astros look to sweep the Twins tonight. They're at 80 wins. Justin Verlander got another victory. Framber Valdez pitched his ass off last night. And Dez, the boys are rolling. The bullpen struggling a little bit. That's okay. It's a 162-game season. You might be running into a little bit of fatigue, but let's just start the state of the Astros so far over the last week or so.
Yeah, winning's fun. After a losing road trip, the guys kind of got dialed in. The return of Correa and all that. We can dive into it later in the episode, but Verlander did Verlander things, Framber did Framber things, and this team's deep. Pitching and defense travels in October, and it's scary hours as the offense gets hot.
Yeah.
Like there is a timeline within the multiverse that this team just turns it on in October and just steamrolls every single team. Like if the offense just gets hot, because it hasn't been hot 1 through 9 all year, and they just do it in October, then I'll be the happiest kid on the planet.
Yeah, there still hasn't been a time where we've had Bregman, Tucker, and Alvarez all clicking on all cylinders. I mean, that's a scary thing. Bregman's turned it around. Yuli has had some flashes of old school Yuli. Tucker, we've seen him go up, down, middle of the road. Jordan was on fire at one point, kind of come down to earth a little bit, but back up. But at no point have all of them been on the same page as far as clicking on all cylinders. So that's a scary thing. Justin Verlander, he took a no-hitter into the 6th, but he was at 91 pitches. Dusty said after the game they discussed 90 pitches for that specific game because the Astros are about to go back into a 5-man rotation. But before you knew that info, Dez, were you okay with Dusty taking JV out after 6 innings?
Yeah, I was okay with it. I think I would have liked to see go batter by batter, but I think JV said someone got a screen grab from AT&T that he was talking to the young pitchers, and he talked about you could see his lips moving in the sense of like I care about this, and pointing to his elbow. So and then I think I heard it was either on 790 or another sports station that he talked about that they read his lips, said he was gassed. So I mean, at the end of the day, when Justin Verlander said it was an easy decision, I'm gonna ride with him and Dusty on that. It would have been great to see a no-hitter, obviously, even if it was another combined no-hitter, but it's all about October and getting these guys healthy. I think in 19, we saw fatigue with a lot of the arms, and I think in 2022, we're seeing the team be conscious of where each arm is going into the playoffs.
Yeah, with Justin Verlander, one of the things that he talked about was knowing his body and being able to work on the lower half and as he gets up in age. And it's like we've talked about it before here on Beyond the Diamond, the comparison between Tom Brady and Justin Verlander as they've gotten better, as they've gotten older. And one of the things that Tom Brady is focused on is his body, and the same thing with Justin Verlander. And if him and Dusty Baker and Martin Maldonado and the pitching coach Josh Miller discussed a 90-pitch limit for that game, then obviously he knew something that we didn't. So to take him out after 6 innings, right at 91 pitches, I was okay with. But I like what you said, Dez. I would have liked to see him go out in the 7th, maybe face another batter and then another batter and then take him out after 7 because they weren't touching him that night, man. He was dialed in with every single pitch. They were not touching him. I mean, it was unbelievable what he did against the Twins.
Yeah, I think the only time they were literally touching his pitches was like those at-bats where just felt like a little gnat was flying around and you just couldn't get rid of it. There's a lot of foul balls, a lot of extended counts, but they were 1-2, 0-2 extended counts. So there weren't a lot of 3-2, 3-1s where he's battling back. So at the end of the day, Justin Verlander, I still think he's going to get his 4th no-hitter. I don't know when. He's been flirting with it all year, but it's all about how healthy he is for October and this push. And I said it in a blog 2 weeks ago. and we can go dive right into Framber, but there needs to start being some respect between 2022 Justin Verlander and Framber Valdez and the 2019 JV Cole tandems, because what they're doing this year is incredible pitching wise. Not the 2019, we're going to throw 100 miles an hour, you can't hit it, we're going to strike you out, which is great. But what we're seeing from Framber and JV this year, coming off Tommy John to begin with, and Framber emerging from a guy who was, you didn't know what you're going to get each start. He'd maybe have 6-7 walks and go 2 or 3 innings, or you put it together. And now you have this complete pitcher in Framber Valdez with 21 quality starts in a row, breaking Mike Scott's franchise record. And he's not even your ace. Like, we need to start talking about this tandem for the next month and a half, because they deserve their roses.
Yeah, Justin Verlander is on his way to another Cy Young. And again, you talked about, the blog that you put up. We've dropped a lot of blogs over the last couple of days. Check all those out at ApolloHOU.com. They're up on our Twitter at ApolloHOU, all our social medias at ApolloHOU. But what Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez, and Jose Urquidy are doing is outstanding. I mean, you don't see this in the rest of the league. You've got Verlander obviously at 16-3. You've got Framber at 13-4, and then Jose Urquidy coming in at 12-4. And then what Framber's doing is, if you take Verlander out of the conversation with Cy Young, the Cy Young Award, Framber is right there with like McClanahan and the other guys in the American League. And there's no doubt about it. He's probably going to catch some votes when it comes to the Cy Young Award when the season's all said and done. He's not going to win it, but he's going to be right there, like catching votes to win the Cy Young, and he's the number 2 on this team. It's insane.
Yeah. Right now, off the top of your head, what do you think Verlander's WAR is right now?
Oh, man. Is it over 4?
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm a big WAR guy. You know that.
Big WAR guy.
Is it over 5?
No.
Okay, so it's probably like a 4.5.
4.6.
Jesus Christ, man.
4.6.
As a pitcher.
1.87 ERA, 16-3, 149 innings pitched, a whip under 1 at .846. I mean, I think his K9's right at 8.9, yeah. So
look, Josh.
Fine wine, some would say.
We got Josh. Look up. Is he right there by the computer? I can't see.
Yes, he is.
Look up Roger Clemens' stats from 2005. That's the last time that I can see a pitcher in, I think it was 40 or 41, and he had like a 1.88 or 1.87 ERA, just what Verlander's doing at the age of 39. Look up those stats from Clemens in 2005, the year they went to the World Series. He had like a 2.8, like a 2.7 or 2.8 the year before at the age of 40. Like it's crazy. And Verlander is doing that a year removed from Tommy John. Like it's crazy. What is it?
So his record was 13-8 in 2005 with a 1.87 ERA and 211 innings pitched. Had a K9 at 7.9. And I don't see the individual WAR. He was 3rd in the Cy Young that year.
Yeah. And how old was he? Does it show his age?
42.
Jesus.
At 41, the year before in 2004, he was 18-4 in Houston with a 2.98 ERA.
Okay, so 2.9. That's right.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
With a 3.11.
At 42. Justin Verlander is going to do that. He's 100%. Verlander's 100% going to opt out, and he's going to get big-time money, as he deserves. And he's going to pitch until he's 45.
And I think it's in Houston.
I think so,
I really
do.
I mean, he could put a bow on it with the Cy Young and a World Series ring, and we just like, hey, thank you for everything, move on. But I would just keep doing these 2-year, 3-year deals, re-upping, giving a player option, and just keep the party going.
Yeah. I think the relationship between Jim Crane and Justin Verlander is going to 100% come into, it's going to be a big factor when Verlander opts out. We know it's coming. Like, there's no way that he doesn't opt out after reading that innings threshold and the way that he's performed. Like, he deserves it. He deserves the money that he's going to want. So that relationship between him and Jim Crane is huge.
Yeah.
Real quick, Clemens WAR in 05, 7.8.
Whew. Oh my God.
And he had a season. I can't even believe this. He had a season 1997. He put up an 11.9 WAR as a pitcher.
That's insane.
Yikes.
That is insane. So let's move on to Framber Valdez. Underrated or underappreciated?
Yeah, this is a topic that good friend Barry Lamnick posed to me, and I'll be on a show later today. But I just thought it would be good to talk about it here.
Plug Barry's stuff. What show you on? I want to watch.
Yeah, it's the Barry Lamnick show on Twitch. I'll drop it. I'm on it every Thursday, and he sent this question. I was like, me and Brian have to talk about this today. And I think he's underrated and underappreciated in the sense that it was always Jekyll and Hyde with Framber Valdez really early on. Young guy, a lot of walks. You saw he had the stuff. Like, you were like, he is flat out nasty, but it just wasn't all there. And you were just kind of like, all right, that's your fifth starter fringe guy. He'll be up and down. Not a prospect. He's old. And then you just start seeing everything kind of build. And I think it's obviously they talked about the sports psychologist, but I think Dusty Baker treating him like a war daddy, horse, whatever you want to put the coaching phrase on, workhorse, any of that. He treats him like that. Like, no other pitcher's getting the longest leash as Framber Valdez. There'll be games where he's throwing like 110, 115 pitches, like the old days. And I think that's a really big testament to Dusty and the pitching staff and coaching staff, and to let him just have that leash. Because even when he was the guy that was, walking a ton of guys and like which Framber we're going to get, I think the one game that really stands out to me was, I think it was last year or the bubble year. He pitched against Colorado. We were up big, like 13-0. He was cruising. They let him go in the seventh inning, like 110 pitches, and he gave up like 4 or 5 runs. And so he didn't get the quality start, but he went 7 innings. And I was just like, wow, like this, I don't know if it's a Dusty thing or analytics thing. Like, they are giving him this long leash. And I think that gives a guy a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, let me take a step back here. Can you explain to me what a war daddy is?
Yeah, it's a guy that when he's in the rotation and gets over a 3 WAR, they put him war daddy.
Oh, war daddy. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
my it's a twofold question here. Twofold, if you don't mind. Two. A war daddy. Okay. Was it him or Christian Javier that you called him a dude, but he was lowercase? That was Christian Javier, right?
Yeah, Javier, but he graduated to dude. Me and Garrett, if we can't pan the camera, but we graduated him to dude capital letters this year. He was the first graduating class of Apollo Media from lowercase dude to caps dude.
Gotcha. Okay, so war daddy and dude. Okay, I was just curious on what a war daddy was. Just I don't know where you were going with that one, but I think if we're continuing to talk about Framber, it will, like, the Jekyll and Hyde's like a perfect way to talk about it. You'd see one night where he was absolutely dominant, getting ground ball after ground ball, dropping nasty sliders and everything else that he throws in his arsenal. And then you see him the next outing and he's throwing like 2 1/3 inning and he walks like 6 guys. He pitched extremely well the other night, but he still had 4 walks. That's the one thing I want to see go away, is just the uptick in walks. And I think when it comes to October, we both know this, the leash becomes so short and games become so short. If you can get a Framber Valdez that we have seen so far this season, dude, he's going to get you to 7 innings. And then it's then your bullpen, it helps the bullpen out. You get guys like Stanek, Neris, Montero, and then Ryan Presley. And I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit that they're struggling a bit here as of late. It's like we have always said here on Beyond the Diamond. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's 162 games. Guys are going to go through fatigue. They're going to have dead arm. They're going to struggle. It's inevitable. And I think that's what we're seeing out of a bullpen, especially those 4 guys, because they've seen the most innings pitched out of the bullpen. Brian Abreu is still fresh, in my opinion. That's why we've seen him get his job done over the last couple of days. But those other guys, I'm not worried about them. It's late August. There's still a month left in the season, and I think they're going to be A-okay. So let's take a step back. Let's relax on Montero, Neris, Stanek, and Presley.
Real quick, just for comparison, last year's Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray finished the season with 13 wins, 7 losses, a 2.84 ERA, and 32 starts, 193 innings. Framber right now is at 13-4, 2.65 ERA, 24 games, 156 innings. He's pitching like he would have won the Cy Young Award last year.
Yeah.
But he's maybe fifth in Cy Young so far this year, and he's definitely behind Justin.
So
to his fault, like he's gonna have votes taken away that would go to him to go to Justin.
Who in Major League Baseball right now has a better 1-2 besides the Mets and Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer? Who has a better 1-2? Just off the top of your head, can you think of it? Who do the Dodgers have? Bueller's out.
They have Tony Donaldson, and I guess either Urias, Kershaw. The Braves have a pretty good one too.
Braves are better than they were last year. Braves might be the scariest team in the National League to me, matchup wise.
Yeah,
they scare me. They really do. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. Don't get me wrong, but that NL is a gauntlet to get to the World Series this season. Like, it is nasty over there. I'm glad the Astros are in the American League. Because ain't nobody fucking scared of the Yankees anymore. I don't think anybody was scared of the Yankees. I wasn't. Were you, or did you say that they were going to be a problem, or was it just Seattle? Just asking. Just asking.
No. This is how. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, the Yankees. You just don't let Judge beat you, and when Stanton's out, he has no protection. Like, just literally, I'd intentionally walk him. Someone else step up and beat me. Stanton coming back, I think today or tomorrow, but he's one thing away from being banged up and injured. So I think the Braves and Mets. I mean, the NL East is just always, until we beat them, like, you gotta just, I guess, give them their dues. But having Framber JV and JV Framber, it's huge. And then you have this guy named Lance McCullers Jr. and
let's not forget that LMJ is back.
Yeah, he's back. Jose Urquidy, after ditching the cutters, looks like he's pitching in the World Series every damn game and just nails. Luis Garcia's fighting through it a little bit right now, but if he figures it out, it's the same guy that clinched the game against the Red Sox in Houston. So, and that's not even talking about Christian Javier, who's probably going to be piggybacking starts, or now he's in the bullpen bolstering it. We're deep. We're really, really deep.
Yeah.
And they're not sexy names after Justin Verlander, but who cares? Confetti and rings are a lot cooler.
Hey, let's real quick before we go to Carlos Correa making his return. What about Chas McCormick last night dislocating his pinky? You snapping that bad boy back in place right there on the field, rubbing some dirt on it, little tap, and get back out there, or what?
Yeah, we put in the group message, right? Like, pop that sucker back in, rub some dirt on it, a little butt tap, and see you tomorrow. A little ice and Advil.
I saw that message at like 4:30 this morning, and because I go to bed at fucking 8:30 these days. And as soon as I saw, first of all, I saw the video, and I saw his pinky having a 90-degree angle to the right. And I said, man, just pop that bad boy in place. Take a couple things of Gatorade and get back out there, son. And then I saw your message, and I was like, I knew he would get it. Like, I knew he would say the same damn thing. Like, yeah, a little butt tap. Hey, here you go. Here's 4 ibuprofen. Get back out there, Chasmo.
I feel so bad because
dude,
he finally gets rolling. He's having a great year. He's playing a great center field. He's just not getting the starts. We need to figure that out. And he finally starts getting his everyday starts in center field back, besides Dubon for Verlander, right? And then he just a casual late inning toss over and fractures. I mean, he had like a 2-step lead. Like, that's the lead I got.
Yeah.
Like, that was me stretching it out. Like, and he was just like fell over right into the bag, dislocated.
Yeah, his pinky kind of looks like mine now. Like look at this thing. I think
dude, what's wrong with your pinky, bro?
Yeah, dude, it's a little I don't know, can you see it?
If you're just listening on Spotify, Brian's showing his pinky finger, and it's doing it's
so normal, and
A squared plus B squared equals C squared on your pinky. It's not good.
Yeah, man, college is wild, dude. You never know. College is a little wild.
We're talking about Montero before we jump into Correa's return. He's at his career high in innings pitched as a reliever right now.
Yeah.
He I didn't know this till looking it up on Baseball Reference. He was a starter.
Yeah.
In 2017, he threw 119 innings, went 5-11.
Yeah. I remember when they got him in the Mariners trade, right?
Montero, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember reading something about how he used to be a starter, and I was like, why did they get him as a starter? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, Texas.
And then
Texas converted him to a reliever, and then Seattle for that 1 year.
Crazy, man. Yeah. So look, it's right there in the statistics.
Yep. Stanik's getting up there. Stanik's at 42 innings right now. His high is like 68 last year. And then Neris is at 51 innings, and his highest was 80 innings in 2016. 74 innings last year. So he's starting to bump against that number as well. So, yeah, I think it's just the dog days a little bit. And
yeah,
especially with Presley out with the stiff neck, I believe.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so
Stiff neck.
You're going to you're counting on guys right now. And hey, Abreu may get his first letter. He may get his Garrett on the side, put it on the list. Abreu's, and he may earn his pause. He may earn the little. No, I don't know how to phrase this. He may earn the D and D.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. He may earn the D.
The lowercase D.
So he's gonna earn a D. The D.
No, I'm not. You're saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying. I'm just. But that's what you said.
No, you're
right.
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Brian Abreu.
Yeah.
Nasty.
You know what I think's right around the corner? Hunter Brown season.
Okay. Yes.
What was that?
Yes, but Seth Martinez is coming back. Is there a spot for?
You can expand your roster to what? 20, 28 guys? 26. I thought it was 2.
But only one.
No, I thought in September it goes to 27 or 28. Josh, you looked that up? It's 28, right?
28, so we'll have 3 spots?
Yes, 28. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, it's Hunter Brown season. Got it.
Hunter Brown, Seth,
but I believe it also caps pitchers, so they're encouraging you to bring up one position player and one pitcher.
Yeah, so it would be Seth Martinez.
Right, but you can bring up. But if it's 28, you can bring up 2 pitchers and a position player. Or do they cap it at just 1?
We're at 26 right now.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, and they Seth capped at 13 pitchers, and then they capped up to 14 pitchers.
So I know the fan base, and I've been clamoring for Hunter Brown, but it's Seth Martinez. He's got innings.
I think it'll be Hunter Brown over Seth Martinez, even though Seth Martinez pitched pretty damn well when he was up at the big league level. I think the front office just wants to see Hunter Brown this season. The dude is the man. Like think about it, man. Like the other night, Corey Lee hit 3 bombs, and he's been stroking the baseball down there ever since he went back down. And then Hunter Brown, like those 2 dudes are the future of the Astros, and there's just not a spot for him to come up. That's how deep this Astros team is right now, even with a few injuries here and there. Michael Brantley, Aledmus Diaz, you got a platoon of Mauricio Dubon, Jake Myers, and Chaz McCormick in center field, and these other guys just can't find ways to come up. It's crazy how deep this Astros team is at the big league level.
Do you know that I haven't seen the lineup hasn't came out yet for Thursday night's game, right?
Uh-huh.
It
should be coming out in the next, it's 2:45 as we record this, so it should be coming out in the next 30 minutes or so.
Is it David Hensley time? Is he getting his first?
Yeah, when's he going to get some PT? Josh, didn't he say he was going to hit a home run the other night or something like that?
I'm feeling it's coming soon.
I think he gets a start today. I think he gets a start today.
They've already won the series, so I mean,
throw the kid a bone.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him.
Yeah,
see what he's got.
He's like 6'6", right? Utility guy.
God, dude, what a unit, huh?
Yeah, we should get him on the show.
He looks like he's built like Noah.
We should get him, but on this couch we have that's like super small, and just put him in the middle. Like it's just like the worst, the worst podcast ever.
Put him in. No, have both of us sitting on the couch with him in between us.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that what you meant? Yeah, okay. So we're just like looking at him
totally uncomfortable. Yeah.
Oh,
so
hey,
open
David,
invitation.
Welcome Welcome to the Apollo headquarters. Oh, where do you want me to sit?
Right there.
Right in between us.
Right there in between us.
In between us. Wait, you guys serious? And then you could have Josh be like, yeah, we're serious. Sit down.
Yeah.
Be
And
great.
have the 2 open seats.
The 2 chairs just sitting
there.
You don't want me to sit over there? No, in the middle, David. That's enough. Sit down. Carlos Correa makes his return back to Houston. I'm going to toss it to you on this. Give me what?
Yeah, if you didn't tune into 790 from 6 to 10,
no,
Sean Salisbury store.
No, his store, huh?
That's tough.
See,
Sean,
that's
Sean Salisbury show. It's tough. Sorry.
It's all right.
From 6 to 10 on 790. You had an interesting take, and I think we should start there.
What are we doing?
We should start there because I just want to. I wish we could play the audio. I wish we had it like ready to go, but we don't.
Okay, but I will say what I said.
Yeah, let's.
I'll
just let
it.
you go. I'll just let you.
Okay.
Do it.
Look,
Carlos, I can play.
We have the audio. We have the audio.
No.
All right, go tell your story, and then we'll listen to the audio. So go ahead.
Okay, so Carlos Correa, we watched him grow up in front of our eyes in the organization. Made his way up through the minor leagues, got his debut, and he did fantastic things for the Astros and the community. Every accolade that he deserves as far as a player and a man in this community, he deserves. He took on the heel role after the cheating scandal and was the voice, the captain, the leader of this team. There's no questions asked, especially after Springer left. Carlos Correa took the role and took off with it. And he was lights out in the playoffs like we always saw in October. But the way that he left the Astros, in my opinion, if he wanted to be an Astro, he would have been an Astro. But he didn't want to be an Astro. It's hard to hear, but he didn't. He wanted to go get the bag. And I applaud players to go get the money always. Go get your bag. But as fans, we have to realize that if Carlos Correa really wanted to remain a Houston Astro, he would have been here. He still would be here, but he didn't. So for me, it's like welcoming him back is a special moment. Don't get me wrong. The tribute video was on point. It was great. Giving him a standing ovation, he deserved all of that. But after that, dude, he's a Twin. He's on the Twins. And I probably in the unpopular opinion here, but I don't give a shit. Like I went through the timeline and all these people, men, women, children, all talking about, Carlos Correa, I'm going to cry tonight. I'm going to cry. For what? The dude walked away from the Astros. That's where I got a little fired up. It's like, stop. Why are we ball washing? Stop ball washing. Like Carlos Correa did a fantastic job with the Houston Astros, elevated this city, got us a chance. I know how everybody at Apollo HQ is looking at me like I'm a jackass right now, but I'm fine. It's fine. What he did is fantastic. But at the end of the day, he's a Minnesota Twin, and the fan base cheered when he struck out against Verlander. I mean, that's it. That's it.
And we have a surprise special guest. Go ahead and come on in, Carlos.
That would be great.
And what he did, hey, and don't get me wrong, him wearing our tee and tank, like it helped our brand. I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm a little like 75%. Yes, I loved everything about it. But then there's 25% of me that's like, dude, stop with this stuff. Like, welcome him back, give him his return, and let's go back to work. We're chasing October right now, and the Twins are right there in the mix, trying to win the AL Central, trying to get a wild card spot. So I don't know, man. I might be an unpopular opinion. I'm sure Josh is going to fucking use this as the fucking clip on Twitter, and then people are just going to fucking dog me out. It's fine. I don't care. I got my opinions. I'm entitled to them, and I'm going to stand on it.
Yeah, Brian LaLima speaks for himself. No, I mean, like, I agree on, what were you saying? Ball washing? Is that
ball washing? Yeah.
Ball washing?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd use that phrase. I would say that I understand some people's, like yours, opinion on the micro of what this series is, but on the macro, like, you got to give him his flowers and his dues. And I wrote it, and I go, he's gonna get a standing O pregame. He's gonna get a standing O while he digs in the plate, deservedly so. And then JV's gonna bust him up with fastballs. That's the game, and I'm okay with that.
And I'm with you on it. And then I compared it to when George Springer came back. People gave him a standing ovation and everything like that. But there this whole outcry of, oh, we're going to cry, blah, blah, blah. You didn't give it to AJ Hinch when he came back. You didn't give it to George Springer when he came back.
Well, I mean,
who did more for the organization, Carlos Correa or George Springer? I mean, it's a tough decision, but why didn't we do the same thing for George Springer that we did for Carlos Correa?
They did.
Not as much.
But I also think they're two different beasts with the same animal. Springer's very quiet. He's very just like.
That's fair.
And Correa really stepped up and became the villain that Major League Baseball wanted during this alleged cheating scandal that was rampant throughout the entire league. But I just think there's more moments in time of Carlos doing something that stands out than Springer. Like Springer, I remember the home run after he missed the ball in Game 5, right? Running around. But you didn't have a George Springer like pointing at his watch. You didn't have a Springer with the ear, the throwing of the helmet, they're just two different beasts but the same animal. So I think that's why it's a little bit different, because the highlight reel in moments, there's more that were more theatric in that sense. And also George Springer like hit a home run instantly. Like it's different when Correa strikes out against Verlander and Springer like launched one like 450 feet. So
right. I was one of the people and fans that was championing for Jim Crane to open up the wallet and give Carlos Correa a blank check. I was, but I just think the way that he left and didn't want to be here anymore, it's like, all right, give him a standing ovation. Let's give him the tribute that he deserves. All of, like I said, all the accolades. Let's give it all to him. But then we're moving forward. And this just, I don't know. Whatever,
yeah,
man.
I mean, I think it was appropriate enough, and we've seen it this series. We haven't seen Carlos, and I'm probably jinxing. He'll probably hit a home run tonight, but you've seen the plays that you kind of miss. He threw the glove up behind him last night, made a sick play after Penny made a sick play. I've loved to see the double cuts of him like in center field, like ready to gear up and throw, like he was pissed off, like he was going to try to throw Maldonado out from 200 feet away, like. Those little things like that were great, but at the end of the day, it's about beating them, and we did.
Yeah.
But I also think it had to be a little weird for Pena, like,
yeah,
especially when there was like a brawl, like almost like I've never seen Altuve that pissed when Sanchez decided to throw at him for some reason. But like, and then like Carlos is playing like the both sides peace giver, and like it's just got to be weird, like all around is weird week for Jeremy Pena. And I mean, obviously for Carlos, but
yeah. Do you think at any point, like Correa, like especially being back in Houston and seeing how well the Astros are playing, and I'm sure he's kept up with all his, he's still best friends with Lance McCullers. Lance is his son's godparent. And do you think at ever he's like, man, maybe I shouldn't have left. Man, I want to go back there. Like, not buyer's remorse, but like, I mean, God, I don't know what to say. But anyway, do you think at any point he's just like, man, I wish I would have stayed?
I mean, I think that's always going to be there. But I also think that Carlos Correa had a duty as the number one shortstop in the class to go out and get a high number and set a number for everyone else behind him. Like people
set the precedent.
Yeah. Like when you're that guy and that dude and you have Boris and you're the free agent market mover, you have to go out there and do that to also like protect all the guys behind you. Because if you don't, and let's just for simple math, Carlos Correa should have got $30 million a year, but he settled with the Astros for 20. So that number two guy behind Carlos should have got like 20 or 25 in this math scenario is only going to get 15, to 17. So that guy's getting screwed over. So it's just part of the game and how it's structured. Like that guy who is a top free agent in that class, go set a number to protect all your guys coming behind you. In the free agent market and everything that goes into that. So I think if his name wasn't Carlos Correa and he wasn't the guy, wasn't with Boris and all that, then sure, I think you find a deal. But at the end of the day,
I understand all that, but then where does winning coming into play, dude? You went to Minnesota, like, come on.
I think it's
like where's winning? Where does winning come in? Because, and I'm not trying to compare. Yeah, these are different sports, but Tom Brady took team-friendly deals year in and year out to stay in New England because he knew what he had there. Carlos Correa, dude, look what the Astros have, and And if Carlos Correa is still on this team, like there are times during the season where you're like, okay, some guy's struggling, another guy's struggling. Boom, there's Correa that could bring everybody together, right? So where was winning in all this? Like I guess that goes into a factor to me. Like, okay, like he clearly left for money and money only, because if he didn't go up to Minnesota to win, I mean, they're playing well for Minnesota, but the Astros are the best team in the American League again.
Don't forget the thing that came out that he never actually received an offer from the
Oh, that's right.
That could be, I mean, the legit could be
a factor as well. Yeah.
And then again, like you may have a scenario again this offseason where Verlander walks in because we have 5 pitchers and you have Hunter Brown waiting, where you're just kind of like, why did we let him go? And it makes sense on an Excel sheet because Jeremy Pena has a 3.7 WAR and Carlos is at a 3.3. And so their stats are kind of identical. I mean, Pena's kind of hit that rookie wall. But at the end of the day, like, is 40, what did Correa get? Like 33 million? What did he get? 30, whatever it is.
Correa?
Is that worth the same production that you're getting at a rookie?
Yeah, 35.1.
35.1 million. Okay. And Pena's gonna get what? League minimum 750 or whatever it is. Right. That's just the game. And I don't know. I think the Astros did it right. But then again, Carlos Correa in October was a totally different beast. I think he had a 280 lifetime average in the playoffs, 18 home runs, 272 batting average in the playoffs, 59 RBIs. Like that's big time production. 849 OPS. Yeah, that's I think that's where the real conversation begins if Pena struggles in October and we fall short. Like what would have been like if we had Carlos? I think that's the conversation everyone's gonna run with.
Right, for sure. That's 100% what it's gonna be. We're running up against time. Real quick, Des, the 2023 schedule to come out. What are your thoughts on it for the Astros? 2023 schedule for the Astros.
Yeah, I didn't know this was happening until it did, but the short division games this upcoming season, it's like only 50, I believe, Josh, instead of 73.
You have 13 games against each opponent.
Okay.
Instead of 19.
So this is 19. So this is the season where they play everybody, right?
Yes, you play every team in the league.
We play every team in the league.
You play every team in the league, and then
it starts in 2023.
And then, so if you play them on the road this year, next year they'll play at your home. So every 2 years, every team will play in every stadium, and that I think it's great for the growth of the league. They're going to sell a shit ton more tickets. Imagine it's like replacing a Dodgers series with another Angels series. It's like imagine the ticket sales difference on that. The Mariners are coming to town for the 17th time this year. Like, do I want to go see that game? Or the Dodgers are in town? Yeah, I'm going to go see that game.
So home games in 2023, you've got the White Sox, the Tigers, the Giants, the Cubs, the Twins, the Blue Jays, and I'm not even going to go through the AL West. But then you've got the Nationals, the Mets, Tampa Bay, Colorado. The Guardians, man, I almost screwed that one up. Red Sox. Let's see. Oh, the Padres are in town.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We can go see the Astros Braves 420, 421. That'd be fun. Dude, we can go
LA road trip on my birthday.
LA road trip on producer Josh's birthday. Sounds like a nightmare of content. Respectfully, just sounds a logistical nightmare.
Oh my god.
A Yankee series in August, and then we can, if you ask little bro Taylor, Baltimore's like right there, right next to the Great Lakes, right next to the Great Lakes. So we can go to New York and then go to Baltimore.
You know the whole thing about that scenario, and people are like, "What does he mean by little bro?" So we had just gotten into West Palm, and we're driving up to our Airbnb. And we were talking about maybe going to a Baltimore series after a Yankee series, and then maybe going over to Detroit to watch them play the Tigers. And our guy Lil Bro, thought that all of that was within like an hour or a couple hours of each other. And we looked at the map.
He thought Queens,
Yeah.
Boston, Baltimore, and Detroit were all within an hour of each other.
Yeah.
And was legitimately like pulling maps up to prove his point.
He fully thought Detroit was on the East Coast. Like,
I mean, that was a hill he was going to die on. Sure.
He was willing to die on that hill. So, I didn't know that we were playing every team. I love it. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. I'm excited for that 2023 season, with the new type of schedule with playing every team is pretty badass. But that's going to do it for another edition of Beyond the Diamond before we get out of here. Okay. Hold on. All right. What's up? What do you got?
Alex Bregman, player of the month.
Right.
Player of the month. Possessed. He's back. The kid is back.
Yeah.
He's on fire.
Yep.
The league is fucked.
Yeah.
So fucked.
Yeah, it's crazy to listen to him talk about the mechanical issues that he was going through. And man, I know I said it on an interview with him at an event where people literally wanted him traded, wanted him DFA. Like there were so many people that wanted him off this team, and he's turned a corner. He's hitting home runs again, hitting doubles. I mean, he's squaring baseballs up, and it was never a matter of he's striking out all the time. The dude is like, I don't know where he is now, but at one point he led the league in walks. He leads the Astros in walks, and he was walking all the time. He just wasn't finding hits. And then he talked about the front hip was ever so slightly landing in an open position, and he was flying open. And then he fixes that, and we see the result of it. Like the other night, he was like 3 for 4. A couple games before that, he was like 4 for 6 with 2 bombs. I mean, the kid is back. Like the kid is back.
Oh yeah, and if we get this sustained throughout October, it's over.
Watch out.
Oh, by the way,
out.
Kyle Tucker, 16-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a timeline out there in the multiverse that this team 1 through 9 gets hot in October, and it's our time. It's our time for our offense to be hot in the playoffs. Pitching and defense travel. Like, it doesn't matter. That's a gold standard across the board. But if this team and offense just gets hot for 1 month, blouses.
Yeah. Game blouses. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
That's going to do it for another edition of Beyond the Diamond podcast. They are trying to sweep the Twins tonight. And then who they have after that? I just had the schedule pulled up. Baltimore, that's right.
Red
Orioles.
hot Baltimore.
Trey Mancini's former team. Mancini's Mafia. Good to see him swinging it well for the Astros. You got anything?
Nope. Love you guys.
It's going to do it. We'll be back next week with more Beyond the Diamond here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Peace.